This is going to be a bit of a detailed video, a bit longer video than probably, and you can see how long this video lasts if you're watching it on YouTube. What I want to talk about is drones, and especially the story that's happened within the past about 48, nearly 72 hours now, regarding the drone activity at London's Gatwick airport. This has been a now ongoing situation. Just as I kind of set up to record this, there was more reported sightings of a drone over Gatwick airfield, which has caused it to close once again. But I'll get to that in a minute. The whole situation, I'm going to read out the statement, or some of the statement at least, on Gatwick Airport's official Twitter page, which is at Gatwick_airport, because this words it better than I could, and it gives you kind of the background of this whole story. This was put up yesterday, Thursday the 20th of December, saying, following reports of 2 drones flying over the Gatwick Airport airfield at around 9 PM, the airfield was closed from 21:03 Wednesday 19th of December to 03:01 Thursday the 20th of December. So basically about 6 hours there. Unfortunately, a further sighting of drones in the vicinity of the airport has forced the runway to be closed again at 03:45, so it was closed again around about 45 minutes later after it opened, as we investigate the sighting alongside Sussex Police. We will update when we have suitable reassurance that it is appropriate to reopen the runway. It just goes on, I won't read the rest of the statement, basically just advise people to check with their airlines, a lot of flights being diverted, and it also says, we apologise to any affected passengers for this inconvenience, but the safety of our passengers and our staff remain our foremost priority. So that's basically what happened. At least 2 drones were seen by multiple persons or people, obviously must be airport workers, I think, or especially at that time of night. Gatwick Airport I think closes around about half 11 midnight. Usually that is the case with airports in the UK when it comes to flights incoming and outgoing. So it must have been obviously airfield workers at that time of night, maintenance crew, etc., who witnessed, at least from all the reports, I would say, kind of agree with the reports, that there was at least 2 drones being flown around the airport. That led the airport, or the airfield, to be closed for over 24 hours, and it only actually reopened at 9:30 this morning. I have my computer in front of me, which way can you see a little bit of the light under me, because I've got their Gatwick Airport's Twitter page again, at Gatwick_airport open, said Friday 09:30, Gatwick's runway is now available and aircraft are arriving and departing. There are knock-on delays and cancellations to flights, obviously because planes have not even been diverted to other airports and not been able to take off from their origin airports. We strongly recommend you check the status of your flight with your airline before setting out for the airport today. So obviously the big knock-on effects, and I'll talk about the whole situation in a minute. And just as I was going to re-record this, and it is now just after 6 PM, reports came out that around 5:10 today, the 21st of December, another suspected drone sighting was reported, which means the spokesman for the airport says, we are just hearing of a report of another drone sighting that we are investigating. As we look into it, we have taken the precaution of suspending flights. Aircraft have been, this is from the BBC website, aircraft have been circling above the areas as they are currently unable to land. Details are still coming in on the suspected rogue drone. So this has been a major story. It's been a major occurrence, and a very concerning occurrence as well. Now this is going forward as my opinion, or what I've seen on the news, etc., because obviously with all kind of major story like this, especially this busy festive period, news channels send their reporters and crews to the airport, and so there was BBC, Sky News and everything whichever other media being sent there and reporting on the situation. It's obviously a very concerning situation, and from what I've seen, I have to agree with many of the reports. It's obviously been, especially considering the length that these drones were witnessed from from 9 p.m. even. I don't even know, I should know this. 9 p.m. till late yesterday afternoon, at least, into the early evening, possibly. I can't find any absolutely accurate report to see when the last known sighting of the drones were, prior to the one just about an hour ago. Well, the suspected reported sighting about an hour ago now. But certainly it's a concerted and planned effort, and unfortunately successful, to disrupt Gatwick Airport again at this busy festive period. A lot of people, you see on Twitter now, trending is 2nd of January, and that is because many offices, companies are putting on their Twitter feeds, we are now closing until the 2nd of January. A lot of people, obviously, these few days are flying off for Christmas. They're flying home if they're from another country, or maybe their family stays in another country. I don't need to go into the various reasons why people are actually going, taking a flight for what reason. Some people want to spend Christmas abroad, some people want to go back home, some people want to go somewhere maybe to even escape the whole Christmas thing. Some people are not Christmas fans, or they just want to take time out at this time of year when they have the opportunity, again, when their company may be closed for this period. It has certainly been a concerted effort, again, considering the length of time from 9 p.m. till at least late afternoon yesterday, when the drones were being continually flown around the airfield. Again, certainly planned effort, consolidated effort to disrupt Gatwick Airport. I don't think there is any doubt, because I don't know much about drones. I know there has been people complaining, and I'm not kind of wanting to speculate on. I know that apparently the report was that the police didn't want to just go and shoot the drone down for public safety. If you played a video game where you take on drones, sometimes if you shoot drones in a video game, they can go all weird in the sky and crash and all over the place. I think that's been kind of part of the reason why the police didn't want to just go ahead and shoot them down. And apparently, I saw one. I think it may have been Sussex Police on. I think it was on BBC website yesterday, saying that they were saying, and I don't know exactly what the category is, but I saw one report at least saying that it was more of an industrial drone. So I don't think it's I don't know what the difference is. Again, I'm not a drone expert, but I saw several reports. Where is it? I think it's, yeah, I've got it here on Twitter, on Sussex Police's Twitter, at @Sussex_police. Just saying this so you can see it. The drone image in a previous tweet was used for illustrative purposes and not the devices being sought. It is believed that the Gatwick devices are being the Gatwick devices used are of an industrial specification. We are continuing to search for the operators, which they are still doing. Nobody has been caught so far, unfortunately. So I don't know what they mean by industrial drones. I'm not entirely sure. Again, I'm not a drone expert. There's different classes of drones. I'm aware of that. Obviously, this is a big safety issue. Personally, for me, and again, I'm not going to go into why they not be able to shoot them down. Like I said, I think I saw a couple of reports. People said, supposedly experts said that they didn't want to shoot them down in case again they go wild like they do in the video game, or there's something. And the police have said they don't believe this is all terror related. I don't think it is terror related, because otherwise there'd be something else going on right now. It would be a kind of a distraction technique, or so. I'm not going to speculate, because there's a lot of people are trying to kind of do Chinese whispers on Twitter of this is a distraction, so this is they're going away to do this and that. I'm not going to go down that path, because it's all, in my opinion, a lot of Chinese whispers, adding bits and bobs here and there. obviously it's a major safety issue, and I personally believe that the Gatwick Airport have of course been very right in suspending flights. I witnessed just a couple of days ago. I think I may have been, or I may have been online. I think it was, but I did see a video. It's an old video of a bird strike on a plane as it was taking off. I just happened to see that about 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago now, and literally the obviously the flight was just taken, just left the ground, literally taken off. Obviously, the most dangerous times of a flight is taking off and landing, as they say, but it was just taken off, literally up at an angle. You know, just literally going taken off where when a bird was sucked into the engine, and that wrecked the engine, caused huge flames, and luckily the plane was able to land safely. And I've also seen recently, and people can search for it, there was actual, because of the whole ongoing evolution of drone technology, there was video going around. I'm sure people can search for it. I'm not always going to try and put it on my video because it'll be copyright claimed for it by whoever owns it. But there has been videos of a drone being smashed into an airplane wing. I'm not sure whether anybody's ever done tests with a drone and a jet engine. That might be an interesting one if people can find it. If it is available online, I will search for that. But that would cause massive damage to the engine. It's obviously a very dangerous situation, and obviously one of the reasons also why flights and goings and outgoings have been completely suspended is in case, of course, they let a plane attempt to take off, and the drone operators either accidentally, as it might get sucked into the engine, or deliberately try and fly the drone into the plane in one way or whatever, into the engine or into the wing or to the body of the plane in some way. It's obviously a great concern. This has been a situation that certainly, I don't want people to think that it's not being handled. I think there are major consequences that are going to come from this. Yesterday there was a meeting of COBRA, nothing to do with G.I. Joe. COBRA is the emergency committee of the so I'm going to say the British government, but it's with the English government. Hopefully there are actually some communication with the Scottish and Welsh governments as well, because this just in case any copycat gets any stupid ideas. But it's a meeting, really basically a kind of a war cabinet kind of thing. Of any emergency situation, big major situation happens, they have it's like a security meeting, and the military have also been drafted in to assist in the situation. And I do feel that we are going to see, we are already seeing obviously the introductions, and some channels I've watched before, because I'm not saying I'm not a fan of drones. It's not an attack on drones. I've seen them used very efficiently, carefully, very carefully and lawfully in many like photography channels. Some of Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon's and their friends and others have used them on some of the photography web channels that I watch, and they're used to great effect. And it's like any technology, if it's used carefully and responsibly, then it can be fantastic results and fantastic benefits as well from using that technology. Rising View here in Dundee, for example, and that's not a plug, it's just a company that I've seen their work of here in Dundee. They've done things like flies over the V&A Museum, the waterfront, Law Hill, and different areas. There's not really areas for amateurs really to fly here in Dundee because the airport's so close, and Dundee's a relatively small city, so there's not huge really areas that don't really in the city that I didn't think you would legally be able to fly drones, and that goes back to the law. There's been lots of laws and regulations coming in regarding drones, and I feel that we will see more of these coming in due to the situations like the Adocalypse, I think they called it, Apocalypse, whatever, here on YouTube, that we've seen because of the actions of some idiotic YouTubers, one in particular obviously. The rules got changed, and I certainly see more tight, more restrictive laws and regulations coming in because of this situation. I do think there'll be a knock-on effect because of all the situation. Like I said, I'm not against drones. I'm not really into drones myself. Again, there's nowhere really I can because it's so residential around Dundee, and because there's just there's nowhere. I mean, I would probably crash it anyway, but there's no really. I'm not got into the drone flying thing. But again, those who have, it's like, I mean, I'm not from. Oh, I mean, I may be mid-30s, but I'm not from ancient technology. When I was so small, I think we even had a couple at one time where the controller was wired to it. It was a little helicopter you could fly around. That was wired into the controller, and obviously that kind of technology, as I said, especially over the last 2 or 3 years, drone technology has exploded on a huge basis. Although every country does have its different rules, and watch one of the latest, I think it's called Seized, on Peter McKinnon's channel for a lot about that, and there's a few videos if you want to search about drone laws and everything. Get people more educated or knowledgeable about drones and the laws and the technology about it than me. Certainly, in my opinion, before I wrap this up, I don't really have that much to say, and I'm kind of going off on a tangent and yakking a bit here. I do feel that the book needs to be thrown at these people. It is a very dangerous thing to do. I said, it is obviously a planned and considered effort to disrupt a major airport. I think it's at least London and probably England's second largest airport or busiest airport, at least. And so it is certainly a considered effort to disrupt it, and it's again, especially the very busy, as I said earlier, busy festive period where a lot of flights are this is one of the I think they said something like normally about 640 odd flights that they deal with in a single day. So obviously tens of thousands, actually hundreds of thousands of people affected from diverted flights to people not able to fly from inwards and outgoing flights. All several hundred thousand passengers affected when this all blows over. So the one again, going back to kind of the technology, they haven't currently found operators, and I do hope they do, because it's very dangerous. It's kind of lucky in a way, I sense. I believe that they didn't do this right in the midst of when the airport is it's the middle of the day when the flights are coming in and going out. It's kind of lucky, I suppose, in a way that they started to do it around about 9 p.m. where there wasn't as many flights being handled. I don't know what their schedule is for Gatwick. But I really do think that the book needs to be thrown at them, and I think, to be honest, and I'll leave it on this, drone operators need to want the book to be thrown at them as well. It's these kind of people that will ruin this kind of technology, this kind of enjoyment, this kind of fun equipment, and that's what it's supposed to be. I think these are the kind of people who ruin it for everybody. It's like at school when you maybe even weren't allowed to play football because maybe somebody broke a window or was kicking the ball in the corridor, so you get a blanket ban for maybe perhaps a period of time. I think, again, I said, new laws and regulations, stricter laws and regulations I can see coming in after this incident, because like I said, the meeting with COBRA, the government are taking it seriously, so I can see more laws, more regulations coming in. Tighter regulations, tighter laws will be applied even to amateurs, to enthusiasts using their drones. So I would hope that the responsible drone owners basically complain as well, and shout down, complain again about these drone operators who again may have ruined it for everybody. But certainly, as I said, it's currently still on the BBC website. It still seems to be closed, and this is definitely a serious situation, and I do hope that they can take care of it and somehow prevent this from happening again.